Ape Nation, good afternoon. It's Saturday, July 3rd, 2021. And I just want to take a quick couple minutes to look back at this week and analyze a few things that happened that possibly can give us an idea of what we have to look forward to next week, starting on Tuesday morning when the market reopens after the holiday. I hope you guys are all enjoying your holiday weekend, and I'll try to keep this short as possible. Three things I want to discuss today. Number one, the fact that AMC was added to the threshold securities list, I think is important. Also, the implementation of DTCC-005 from 2021. And yesterday, the FUD that was spread by the mainstream media for some reason about this little tiny company called Iceberg Research and the fact that they're taking a short position on AMC because they think the fundamentals don't make sense. So without further ado,
cue the speeder.
And you just said that on camera. This going viral.
Ape Nation, thank you for helping me pass 200 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet, hopefully I can earn it today. So guys, this week, AMC, we know, was designated by the New York Stock Exchange as a threshold security. And basically, for those of you who don't know, this is a regulatory mechanism to mitigate the risk generated by naked shorting and FTDs. And the definition is right here. It says threshold securities are equity securities that have an aggregate failure to deliver position for 5 consecutive settlement days at a registered clearing agency. This would be the NSCC, the clearing corporation, totaling 10,000 shares or more and equal to at least 0.5% of the issuer's total shares outstanding. In other words, it's what many believe to be a proxy for detecting naked shorts, phantom shares that fail to deliver. In accordance with regulation, members of the clearinghouses are obligated to immediately purchase shares to close out FTDs. And as of June 25th, the New York Stock Exchange designated AMC as a threshold security. And the last time we made this list was from December 17th to December 28th of 2020. And it says here the same thing happened with GME. So if we look back at those days, because we now have the reports, we can see the FTDs. Here they are from June 1st to June 14th. And if we look back on June 3rd, we had over 5 million FTDs just on June 3rd alone. Now, that's a lot of FTDs, and those were right when we had our monumental run-up. So you might be wondering to yourself, as was I, why is it that AMC is just now being placed on this securities threshold list? Why wasn't it back here from the 1st to the 14th when we had all of these FTDs? Why wasn't it on the list? And it's most likely the reason that it did not appear was because basically the hedge funds have been cooking the books and utilizing options to make it appear as though these FTDs have been closed and covered. So essentially, they can use options to continue to kick the can down the road for as long as they want, until we come to the DTC filing 005. Because when this was implemented, it is directly to bring a close to this practice going forward, which could indicate why we saw finally, for the first time since 2020, AMC pop back up on the radar for the thresholds list. Simple as that. And guys, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to be able to see the direct correlation between the implementation of these rulings and filings and proposals with the SEC and the DTCC, and how it's totally 100% due to what we have been proving over the last 6 months since GME squeezed back at the end of January. We have been exposing all of this fraudulent activity everything that's been going on, and the fact that these rules are being passed now, the two go hand in hand. So we're having a direct effect on fixing the broken system that is Wall Street. Now, to address Iceberg Research, and you're probably saying, who the hell is Iceberg Research? Well, we've all heard of them now because of what happened yesterday. They made a big, huge deal about the fact that we are short AMC. Fundamentals are obvious. After 1 month of trading sideways and lots of money lost in call options, the pump seems increasingly shaky. So, who is Iceberg Research? Well, they don't have a listing on Wikipedia. I found this little web page saying Iceberg Research. They don't have a logo, nothing, revealing financial manipulation and accounting frauds. So it says about them, Iceberg Research identifies substantial earnings, misrepresentation, and accounting irregularities in financial statements issued by public companies. Nothing to do with AMC, right? Complacent auditors are rarely subjected to fines despite their role in a growing number of accounting scandals. Too often they validate fraudulent or highly misleading accounts and discreetly write their reserves at the end of the annual report. We locate these notes in the financial documentation in order to provide a complete picture for investors. None of this has anything to do with AMC. But the media, for some reason, the mainstream media just took this and ran with it. It was all over the place. There were articles. 4 or 5 articles must have popped up within an hour of this story coming out. Markets Insider right here. Short seller says AMC's fundamentals are obvious and that the meteoric run in the theater operator stock is nearing an end. Who cares? No one's even heard of these people. Why the fact that this story got blown up is beyond me. And, this is the problem with the market manipulation and people being able to say whatever they want, whenever they want. The fact that they took a short position, literally right after this came out, what happened with AMC? We saw a huge dip, right? We dropped from $53 down to 48, just over $48 a share. And that could have scared off some people who might have sold off when they saw this red run that we went on. But then what happened? As soon, 10 minutes later, we started slowly climbing back up again and finished the day at 52.91. Actually, that was in aftermarket, but we finished at 51.96. But still, this is a problem. This is what I don't like about the mainstream media and the FUD that they create for absolutely no reason at all. And I know a lot of people were talking yesterday about how they were sued at one point. And I found this from back March 23rd, 2015. Yes, they were sued by this group, Noble Group, because they were criticizing their stock. And it says right here, Noble alleges that Iceberg tried to hurt the company by driving down the share price and anonymously spreading false and misleading information. Now, I do know that I looked further and that this lawsuit was dismissed at some point. I don't know if a lot of people have talked about that, but it was dismissed and the court must have found there was no conspiracy. But somebody took them to court over it in the past. So this isn't their first rodeo. So after everything that happened in the past 5 days, let's say, what does that mean for next week? Now, I've seen a lot of creators out there, YouTubers, who are talking about AMC. I've heard a lot of people saying that next week is the end, that it started yesterday, and it's going to be wrapping up after we come back from the holiday, starting again back up on Tuesday of next week. And that all of these implementations of these rules and the SEC and the DTCC, everything they've done over the past 6 months to fix this is now going to show and start to bear fruits next week. And people are saying that next week is the squeeze. Here's what I would say if you're an ape right now holding AMC. Don't put any time or date on it. So far, everyone trying to designate a time or day for the squeeze to happen or to begin has been wrong. There's nothing different about this week coming up, from what I can see, that is going to cause the squeeze directly. Are these things all helping? Hell yeah. This was all good news for us. Everything that's happened is great for the stock, for the market itself. It's all good news. There hasn't really been anything detrimental to AMC. But to try to put a date or a time on the squeeze beginning and ending is really dangerous. And it gets people's expectations really pumped up and high. And if it doesn't come to fruition, that could discourage people, cause them to sell. All kinds of things can go wrong with putting a date and time on it. And I'm never going to do that. I'm going to continue to say that when it happens, it happens. And that's it. There is no date or time anyone can put on it. If they're doing that, they're either misled or they're directly trying to clickbait people and get views. All right, guys, that's all I've got for today. I'm working on another video about the former SEC chairwoman and her comments about YouTube creators and the market manipulation that I'm working on right now. So keep your eyes open for that. Thanks to all my new viewers and subscribers. I appreciate all of you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. This is Ape Nation. I'm the Massalorian, and I'm out.